Artists sharpen their pencils to ultra-long, sharp points for a reason. A point like this enables artists to use a variety of different grips that gives flexibility in the kinds of techniques and pencil strokes that can be created. For instance, you can hold the pencil in the overhand grip to make large sweeping strokes, use the side of the pencil core to create large even areas of shading, and vary the line thickness. Ultimately, when you sharpen a pencil to a long point, it will give you more control over your line quality in a drawing. I find it especially useful for the early stages of a drawing when I'm blocking in the rough lines and shapes in a drawing that establish the composition of a piece. To sharpen a pencil like an artist, you'll need a few supplies. On top of the pencil, you'll need a craft knife, also called an X-Acto, a jar of some sort to collect the shavings, and some fine grit sandpaper. I use sandpaper with a grit of 180. I'm using the sanding block, which has tear-off sheets, which is pretty convenient, but you could also just use a strip of sandpaper. I also usually put a cover down on the table I'm working on to collect stray pencil shavings, so for that I'm using the back of an old sketch pad. If your pencil isn't completely new and has become shorter with wear, you can also get pencil extenders which attach to the end of the pencil and make it easier to grip when you come to draw. In the blog post, I've listed all the supplies you need, so check that out if you need to stock up. The link's in the description. I start by holding the knife in my right hand, which is my dominant hand. If you're left-handed, you may feel more comfortable holding it in your left. Then, in my left hand, I hold the pencil like so, at around a right angle to the knife, with my thumb on the top. You use your thumb on your opposite hand to push the back of the knife to sharpen the pencil. The back of the knife is a bit sharp, so I'm pushing onto the knife casing. I'm holding the knife at a shallow angle to the pencil so that it's almost flat. Then I carefully push my thumb along the pencil casing to shave off the wood. I start about an inch away from the end of the pencil and carefully start shaving it away. I rotate the pencil in my left hand to start shaving off the wood casing. With the knife, you should be able to feel when you get to the glue that separates the pencil core from the wood. When I get to this section, I carefully control the knife in my right hand to flatten the angle even more so that it is completely level with the pencil core. I'm continuing this process of rotating the pencil, slowly shaving away the wood. I'm doing it slowly so that I can make sure not to make any dents in the pencil core itself. On my first few tries of sharpening a pencil this way, the pencil lead broke, so it's better to go slowly with it, especially if you're working with softer pencils or charcoal, because the leads can break away more easily. I'm continuing to sharpen until the lead is of an even length all the way around. I sharpen my pencils to around 1.5 inches, which gives me enough space to work with when drawing. The next step is to refine the tip of the pencil with sanding paper. So if you're using a strip of sanding paper, make sure it's flat on the surface. Hold your pencil at a shallow angle to the sanding paper and use light pressure to sand it back and forward like so. You'll need to slowly rotate the pencil so that it's even on all sides. I aim for a tapered, ultra-sharp point. If you can see obvious edges or sides on the pencil lead, sand these off because that can create uneven shading marks when you come to draw. Make sure not to make the lead so thin that it's fragile, but sand it enough that it's sharp, even, and tapered. This method of sharpening pencil creates quite a lot of dust. You can actually collect and use this graphite powder in a drawing. You could either apply it with a soft brush or use a blending stump to paint it on the paper. With the graphite powder, you can create some ultra smooth, soft, smoky shadow effects. So there we have it, a pencil sharpened to a fine point with a knife. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're just getting started with learning to draw, I've released a Drawing Fundamentals course that teaches beginner artists how to draw realistic portraits using the Atelier method. If you're interested, check it out at courses.finearttutorials.com. I've put the link in the description so you can find out more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.